many business owners are in the room? Yay, okay, good, because this is for you and aspiring business owners too, because you need to know how you can compete in a very under-tapped marketplace, because that's what this is all about today. So we're going to talk about set-asides and what that means, what are certifications, how you can leverage those certifications, and then some common myths, and then how you can actually get certified. So first about me, I spent over 20 years in corporate America. That's a long time, I know. I have worked with some of the top organizations, top Fortune 500, Fortune 100 organizations in the country, really, and especially in the Southeast. I'm in Atlanta, so I work with most of the major corporations headquartered in Atlanta, like Coca-Cola and Delta and Turner Broadcasting. And during that time, I loved it. But the last 2 years of my journey in corporate America, I started really thinking about my legacy, and I thought about the revenue that I was bringing in to the companies that I work with. And in just the 2 years before I left corporate America, I had generated over $9 million in revenue for my clients. And while I was paid well, it wasn't $9 million. Right. So, you know, I took a little issue with that, and I decided to get off the plantation. That's me running. That's me running off the plantation. So what happened with my journey, I actually, you know, before I started ARC Business Solutions, I actually became a partner in another company. It was a real estate company. We were, you know, my duties were to, you know, really grow the company, be that business development, you know, arm, because that's what I was doing. That's what I did for 20-something years. And during that time, I was looking for ways to set our company apart, this real estate company apart from the competition, because I felt like it was a very oversaturated industry. And so I wasn't used to dealing and working with consumers, regular consumers. I was used to working with businesses, other businesses, governmental agencies. And so I started doing some research, and I found out that there was this undertapped industry, or very highly undertapped, almost untapped industry, that would allow us to set our company apart and to really play on a field with less than 1% of competition. And so during that time, that was federal and corporate contracting. I learned that there were federal agencies that utilize real estate companies, such as HUD, such as Department of Veterans Administration, and on the corporate side, you know, your major banks, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they all needed property managers, but it's bulk. It's in bulk, right? So in bulk is a whole lot better than onesie-twosies in my mind, because that's the world that I came from. I came from bulk, not onesie-twosies, you know. And so it was during this time that I realized that people didn't know about it. Small businesses did not know about this opportunity. And that was when I shifted, and that was when it really became obvious to me that I was supposed to be taking another avenue. I was not supposed to be where I was. I just was there because I needed to understand this opportunity. But what happened was ARC Business Solutions was born from that, because what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a more efficient system for small businesses to be able to tap into those opportunities. We knew that it was very convoluted, long, strenuous process. And so we just created a system that would allow us to more quickly and efficiently get certified, so that you can then get in there and take advantage of those opportunities. So the first thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about federal contracting. How many of you know that the federal government is the world's largest purchaser of goods and services? The world's largest. The world's largest. There is no entity on the face of this earth that buys more than our U.S. federal government. Wow. Okay? So it is a huge conglomerate with hundreds of agencies. Okay, just in 2018 alone, the federal budget is $1.1 trillion with a T, trillion dollars. 1.1 trillion. 23% is supposed to be set aside. Okay. Now, guess what percentage participates in the process? I already told you this earlier.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%. So we want to shatter the 1%.
Yes.
That's what we want to do. We're seeking to shatter the 1%. We want to change that because, number one, let's forget race and gender. If you're a small business anyway, 23% is set aside for you, okay? But if you are a woman, if you are a minority, if you are a veteran, there are additional set-asides for you, okay? So there is opportunity. Now, what happens if less than 1% of us are participating in the process? What happens then to all those opportunities? What happens to them? We're really leaving the opportunities on the table, but what does that say? Huge corporations are taking what's meant for small businesses, or the same small businesses. Okay, so we've got to make sure that we change that. Also, it's very similar on the corporate side. Corporate is a whole nother marketplace. Major corporations who want to do business in the federal government, guess what? Major corporations who want to do business with the federal government, they have contracting goals too. It's called diversity in procurement. They look for women, minorities, veterans to do business with. And so, again, the stats are about the same. They look to do business with about 20 to 25% annually, and less than about 1% participate. Okay, so basically what a set-aside is, it's really, for the federal government, is any contract that is $150,000 or less. How many of you could use a $100,000 contract or $50,000 contract or $149,000 contract? I mean, that's only exclusively for small businesses. We're leaving money on the table. So one way that we can leverage these opportunities even more is we can get certified. When you are certified officially as a woman-owned small business particularly, or a minority business enterprise, there's economically disadvantaged, there's veteran, there's even hub zone. If you have a brick and mortar and you're in a particular area of town that's called a historically underutilized zone, those are all certifications that you can get that would allow you even more opportunity in these spaces. So the common myths, that they always go with the lowest bid. That is not true at all. They do not always go with the lowest bid. They have set aside objectives. They have percentages that they need to meet, annual objectives. And basically, it's not always about the lowest bid. It's about maybe they're setting this contract aside specifically for veterans or specifically for a woman. So we have to make sure that we get in and play the game, because wouldn't it be better to compete in a marketplace with less than 1% of your competition than to be out there grappling for the same ocean as everybody else? That's what it's like. Do you need good credit to win a contract? No, you have to be capable of doing the work. You have to be capable of performing. You have to be capable of paying your people, because we're talking about dealing with the federal government, so they're not going to pay you right away. You probably net 60. So that means that when you first get that contract, you got to get it going first before that money starts coming in. But once it starts coming in, it's life changing. And I know the theme is global. Well, you guys do know that the U.S. federal government, I said, is the world's largest purchaser of goods and services. That's globally. Yeah. There are military bases in other countries. There's plenty of opportunities globally. And also, even if you're planning on competing in the corporate marketplace, global. So I have a workshop that I do every single month. And what I do is I work with both. I started out really focusing more on women-owned small businesses. And I do both, really. Actually, my first couple of clients were men. But my heart really is with women-owned businesses and making sure that we, that everyone, that they understand these opportunities and what we're leaving on the table. If you teach courses, if you're a subject matter expert, the federal government, they will pay you to come in depending on what it is. I know someone that goes in and they teach time management. Every month, it's just a time management course they teach to the employees, whoever signs up every month. She has a contract for that. Window washing, landscaping, janitorial, IT, you name it. You sell papers, clips, it doesn't matter, anything. So I have a workshop every single month. It's usually the last Saturday of the month. The next one is the 20th. I only have 2 more before the end of this year. And so it is basically what we do is we get you, and I'll go through this real quick. What we do in the workshop, it is an interactive live workshop. If you don't have your DUNS number, we make sure you have your DUNS number. If you don't know what your industry codes are, we make sure you understand. It's very interactive. It is a working workshop. It's 4 hours. It's from 10 until 2. You understand how many of you know what a capability statement is? That's not enough. It was too many business owners who raised their hands and you don't know what a capability statement is. That is your company's resume. If you were out there looking for a job individually, wouldn't you have a resume? Yes. Okay, I'm just saying. Your company needs a capability statement. Your company needs a resume. But we teach you about that, how it should be formatted. We help you write your capabilities narrative. By the time you leave the workshop, you'll have your narrative written. You'll have your industry codes. We'll have you set up to be registered in the database so that you'll immediately start receiving notifications of the opportunities in your field. And then about 30 to 45 days after that, we complete your actual certification or registration for you, so you don't have to do it on your own.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's heavy. And so I do have, for the purpose of this workshop, I have $100 off. You may have the coupon in your bag. If you don't, the promo code is global. If you sign up for the workshop, here's the thing, I only take 7 per workshop. And the reason why I do that is because it's very interactive. Okay, so here's my contact information. Follow me on social media, ARC Business Solutions. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course my email address, and it's arcanswers.com. My name is Amy Reese. Thank you.